All right, guys. Good morning. It is September 14th. I'm the Truth Wizard. 8:30 in the morning. I just woke up a little bit ago. You can see the sun shining through the trees. And this is going to be what's happening in the world. It's been a very eventful, dark week in America. Perhaps we could be fracturing into 3 or 4 different countries. Lots of speculation, but I'm just going to keep to the facts. I have my tablet here. I know I remind you of that other guy. I'm not going to categorize myself into a certain type of doomer. I'm just going to keep it real and recover the news, highlight what's important, get you on your week. I turned 37 in 4 months, and I'm healthier as I've ever been, taking care of myself in my 20s as best I could. Those were pivotal years for maintaining longevity. We'll start with worldwide news and then center back around where we're at. I understand a lot of people are suffering right now just finding work, sending out hundreds of applications, getting ghosted, maybe hearing something back. Even recruiters saying that they see applicants, hundreds of them, that are completely qualified. They never seen anything like it. Yeah, I hate that phrase. Everything is about never seen it before. That's his favorite phrase. They can't work because we've only added 22,000 jobs in a nation of over 300 million people. Pretty frightening stuff. Last week in collapse, there were riots in Kathmandu, Russian drone over Poland. We all saw that. A gruesome American assassination using a 30-06. The assassination could have been done with a 5.56 at 200 yards, but 30-06 is a little overkill. What? Make sure to get the job done using a bolt action, most likely. That's all gun speak for saying basically he used a 30 caliber round and a cartridge designed in 1906, and it's like this big. It's like as big as my face. Right wingers own everything now. They're in Congress, which will cause the government to shut down in October because Dems want this healthcare package passed. Eternally debating. This is the best system we have. Low Euphrates levels, geoengineering gloom, and extraterritorial strikes all over the planet. Again, protests in Nepal turn violent. Young people setting fire to government buildings probably become commonplace as the collapse accelerates. We are in the midst of collapse in the early stages. More drone attacks from Russia. Israel struck a base, killing tons of people in Gaza continuously. So, wide-ranging protests in France attempted to block everything. Government-mounted airstrike against a couple of schools in Myanmar. Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is now fully operational. Has been storing water and generating electricity for 3 years now, and now completely active. And Sudan and Egypt are worried about the consequences. The dam is expected to double Ethiopia's total electrical production, but no agreement has been made. States down the Blue Nile on how much water will be supplied. So the water wars are continuously a thing. Islamists in Niger have killed 1,600 civilians since March. Cuba's electrical grid collapsed on Wednesday. And a study in Nature found that United States added sugar consumption is positively related to temperature, primarily driven by higher consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages and frozen desserts. This is Una. She's a few years old now. My little Manx. Always playing. And they predict scientists in Nature Climate Change, increase in daily sugar by about 3 grams in 2095 if any of us are still actually walking the earth, which we won't. The UK are facing crisis of competency according to recent writing on friction in the British state. The expertise needed to run a complex system is allegedly at odds with the political and cultural currents, and members of both groups, experts and the peasants, don't respect the other enough to work together. Much like here in the United States, there is a African American man that came along in the late 2000s, 2010s. You know his name, Barack. He promised change. He said that there is a big divide between the rich and poor, and we had to make systemic change. Well, it was all bullshit and lies, smoke up your ass, because nothing happened. It got worse. And since 2020, inflation has been crippling us. Some 21% consumer price index increase, but wages have been stagnant, minus 0.7%. Getting absolutely clobbered. And about town, I hear young people talking about how they're working till their slave mentality, working till they're dead. I'll be working till I'm dead. Has it ever occurred to you that we can actually organize and fight back against the powers that may be if you weren't such a fucking coward? Or hitched, like married, where you can't do anything. Your soul is taken. But no, that's a futile argument. How many out there are like me on here or in public? Who do you talk to? What do you even say? Can I put this clip one more time? For the 10th time, I'm going to use this clip. You know, this one.
Hurtling its way towards planet Earth is not a fucking good thing. Then what the hell happened to us? I mean, my God, how do we even talk to each other? What have we done to ourselves? How do we fix it?
Our favorite subject, microplastics, pollution in the Gulf of Mexico, America's marine protected areas, and sourced large part by microplastics in rivers. And some fun observations here is that in a single-use plastic bottle, which I use, okay, I'm a human, I have to exist in this paradigm as well, is worse than expected. The study's authors determined that there was an annual ingestion of 39,000 to 52,000 microplastic particles by individuals, with bottled water consumers ingesting up to 90,000 more particles than tap water consumers. Chronic health issues linked to exposure to nano and microplastics, respiratory diseases, reproductive issues, not a big problem, neurotoxicity, and carcinogenicity. Can I say that? Health issues tend to affect the gastrointestinal system, inflammation, metabolic disorders, endocrine disruptions, neurotoxic effects, and more. The full study is quite alarming. We don't need to go into that. There's so many content creators already mentioning this already. I can talk. It's 8:30 in the morning, mind you. The most harrowing and lowest moments in my life is when a man can't work. Big Ward talks about it on his channel. A man can't work, a man can't eat. Not that it's even meaningful work, and that's the problem. In order to be happy, you have to have meaningful work, somebody or something to love, and something to look forward to. Groundwork laid out by Jonathan Haidt in the Happiness Hypothesis. I have this community. Hit the like and subscribe. Use the donation link, even $20. Helps me create this content. And so, in case you missed it, I went to a Buddhist center yesterday, made a video. You could type in Buddhist Center, Doom Wizard. I'm thinking about changing the title or the name of this channel to Truth Wizard because I got that name a while back. I appreciate it. The kingdom of heaven is inside. Fine. For you. What about other people? No, it's all about you. I'm from the Bible Belt in the South, Texas, where it takes 3 or 4 years to save up for a down payment in Texas, along with New York. California being the highest, it takes 10 years. I had to hesitate for that. 10 years, which we don't have. The next 10 years are going to be the fucking craziest show you have ever seen. Global conflict, mass migration, food shortages, rivers going dry, electrical dams stop producing energy, Colorado River drying up, multiple overlapping external shocks, 2 Hurricane 5s, Category 5s, within a span of weeks. Then, electricity is shut down. Food can't reach the shelves. I am not in the alignment that we will then band together when crises hit. 2020 and the pandemic brought that knowledge to me. It enlightened me that we are more divided and separated, ideologically isolated and alienated than we've ever been. Now, with all this knowledge in our fingertips, we can choose to believe whatever we want to believe. It's amazing that this thing is still even going. That stores still show up with their shipments of Bud Light and
Cracker Jacks.
McDonald's put it best. If you're making less than 70 grand, you're fucking struggling right now. But every bit helps this community. I know how alone all of you feel within your circles of friends and family, significant others. To use your imagination and put all the pieces together and see the trajectory that we're on is system-wide collapse. My sincere appreciation for Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, whatever his name is, I butcher things, continuously giving speeches to Congress, holding the floor about where we're headed in terms of climate collapse. He asked Scott Bessent, that clown who has temper tantrums, if he read the report on the climate crisis and, all the figures. And Bessent just said, yeah, we advise people. It's all just show bullshit. No, he didn't read it. They don't care. They're catering to the oligarch, to the rich, okay? They're having dinner with Zuckerberg and Steve, whatever, Apple. Steve Jobs is dead, in case you were born yesterday. So I think about running out of steam here, but I wanted to catch up with you guys this Sunday morning. I haven't vlogged in a bit. I'm getting a good routine, trying to stock away some cash to save for winter. I have to get my septic pumped. The pros of living off-grid in the forests are living off-grid in the forests. Not to ramble. But the cons are living, an hour away from civilization and people, but I don't really miss it. I've got all my fill of all the cities I wanted to live, and they're all the same. You don't get to choose where you live. Properties haven't been updated in decades. Most landlords are dicks. Yeah, most, because they're under a ton of stress and pressure in their own lives. Everyone's just struggling to keep their head above water. And again, I'm living like we've been given a terminal diagnosis, which we have. All this information is not heading in the right direction. Americans are getting crushed. The world is getting crushed. Leaders aren't there to save us. They just want to cater to the rich and the Davos people. They know, in fact, we saw that sex worker report. Woman who could speak multiple languages said that that's what she heard the talk of these rich people, and they're basically like, they know we're fucked. We can't geoengineer our way out of this. We can't design efficient carbon capturing devices using unlimited energy, which we don't have. And a UFO with a Hellfire missile being struck off it isn't going to save us either. Many of you believe that they're already here. We know the trajectory. I'm not a fool or a realist. I don't want to classify myself as some type of doomer, even though I am sitting in this chair talking. And if you want a fun horror movie, I'll end with this. Watch 28 Years Later.
Auntie, what's going on?
Jimmy, sit still, keep quiet, and do not move from the spot.
Men go mad with watching them. There's no discharge in the war. Falling up and down again. There's no discharge.
It's actually kind of silly, the whole concept of alpha zombies and lots of penis in the film flapping around, unnecessary zoom in shots, all shot on an iPhone with like fancy lenses. That was my gesture for lenses. It has some striking imagery. It kept in my mind for a few days. It's not really a scary psychological movie. It's more just like a horror. And then a woman giving like a zombie woman giving birth, and then going full UFC on the other woman in the film. It's fucking crazy. It was crazy. Opening with like, family getting slaughtered and kids watching Teletubbies. Okay, I have to get to town. Nice catching up with you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Back, I do have a neighbor who helps out, and I appreciate him very much. We both have ham radios now.
In Syracuse, it was partly sunny. The temperature was 62 degrees. In Rome, it was cloudy.
So we can talk when comms go down. And I'll catch up with you guys in the next one. Later, Doomers.